morning to you, Brad. Thanks for joining us. I think most people who've been to a supermarket will have seen some empty shelves. Can you give us a comprehensive picture of what the effect has been on supply and stock?
Yes, good morning, Madeline. Nice to be here with you. The best way to describe it is it is patchy. We've got intermittent supply coming into the stores. So depending on what time of day of week you go into a store, you may see it in great condition or you may see it with some gaps on the shelves. So there's no one systematic trend here as there was a year ago where we had the demand surge in toilet paper or towels or in the pantry. This is just much more to do with the challenges of getting the product through the supply chain.
Because the supply is there, effectively. It's not like there are actual food shortages, Brad. It's just getting them into the DCs and then onto the shelves.
Absolutely. So it does vary, as I say, by state and by store, but there is enough product in the supply chain, and it's just a question of getting the flow right.
What sort of changes to that are these changes to isolation rules for essential workers going to be? So now, if you're a close contact, if you work in a supermarket, you're going to be able to go to work if you are asymptomatic and produce negative RATs.
Look, the major focus on this actually is in our distribution centres, which are the big changes, and then upstream in some of the manufacturing facilities for things like meat. And there, of course, we've got very strong safety protocols around COVID. So you can go to work if you're a close contact at home, but we will still do a rapid antigen test before you go into the facility, and you will have to be negative before you go in. And then there are a number of other protocols in the facility. So we're not about to go from one extreme to the other. This is about trying to get the right balance and keeping our COVID-safe protocols alive and well. And they've proven to be very effective so far. We don't have any that we can tell transmissions inside our facilities. So we will intend to keep that in place. And we're very focused on the safety, both physical and psychological, of our team. This is now over 2 years that they've had to work through these types of conditions. So we will be very focused on that.
Well, but do you think it's going to make a difference to what we're seeing on the shelves?
Yes, definitely. Well, look, it's one of many levers we pull in at the moment, Madeline. So we are, in some cases, rationalising the range and the flow through to the store. We're obviously looking to get contract help into our DCs, trained contract help, that is. But this is just yet another contributor to helping us get a full complement back into the DCs and the product flowing through to the stores.
We spoke to Sally McManus a little bit earlier. She had concerns about the changes to whatever actually defines a close contact now, because now it's 4 hours as a household contact. You've got big close contact. And that is in order to access federal government money if you are awaiting a test or if you have to isolate because you're a close contact. She makes the point that if you are working next to someone in a distribution centre, in a supermarket for 8 hours, who turns out to be COVID positive, you should be considered a close contact and therefore able to access the money. Do you think that that's a fair point?
Well, look, we have our own procedures inside Woolworths, and if anyone is, off for COVID, we do have an ability for them to take personal leave. Inside our DCs, I should be clear, we're very tight on making sure that there's social distancing, and we wear a smart badge. All of our team do. And if you are within, I think it's a 4-metre radius of another team member, you get a prompt to make sure you move outside of that radius. Most of our team in our DCs work on manual handling equipment and actually work alone. So it's not quite as extreme as it might actually be in a store, for instance, where I think there's a lot more risk, in particular on things like mouthful. But we are very sensitive to our team not being out of pocket in the situation and continuing to support them with the right leave balances. So I can't talk to the specifics of what Sally's looking at from her perspective, but certainly from ours, the team have access to leave if they find they've got COVID or a close contact.
OK, we'll leave it there. Brad, thanks so much for speaking to us this morning. I'm sure it'll be a comfort to people to know that they will start to see some improvements on their supermarket shelves soon.
No, thank you, Genevieve.
Thank you very much.